Welcome to the old history, year 105 AD. The world trembles beneath the red banners of the Roman Empire. From the dunes of Africa to the forests of Germania, the eagle casts its shadow. And under Emperor Trajan, the empire's might burns brightest. But even empires are not made of marble. They are made of men. And this story is not about kings or gods or marble statues. It's about you, a nameless farmer, a son of the Tiber or maybe Campania's dust, a man who looked up one day and saw Rome's banner calling him forward. You stand before a recruiting post. The wooden sign creaks in the wind. Legion enlistment, authorized by the Senate and people of Rome. Behind it, soldiers march in perfect rhythm. Armor gleams like fire in the sun. Their eyes are cold, empty. They look carved from something harder than flesh. And in this moment, standing barefoot on the gravel, heart pounding, breath trembling, you realize something simple, something terrifying. You are about to trade your life for the empire. They call it virtus, Roman virtue. Not kindness, not mercy, but discipline, obedience, endurance beyond reason. Rome's legions are not an armor, they are a machine, forged by sweat, sharpened by punishment, powered by loyalty. Every man a cog, every shield a gear. And when it turns, nations fall. But every machine begins with a single spark, and your spark ignites heat. Before three men at a rough wooden table, a centurion, his gaze sharp as a blade. A doctor, already weary from the endless line of hopeful bodies. And a scribe, ready to write your name or strike it from the list. No smiles, no greetings, only orders, measurements, and eyes that see more than you ever wanted. Your body is examined like livestock, height measured, scars noted, eyes inspected, even your breath judged for the stench of weakness. One flaw, one limp, one bad tooth, and the empire rejects you like spoiled meat. Because Rome doesn't feed the useless, it consumes only what strengthens it. Accept it, says the centurion, just one word, but that word reshapes your destiny. No one cheers, no one congratulates, because the men around you know the hardest part has only just begun. They say every Roman soldier dies twice, once when he stops breathing, and once when his name is forgotten. From this moment on, you belong to both deaths. The oath is simple, the meaning eternal. Right hand raised, left upon your chest. You kneel before the image of Emperor Trajan, not as a man, but as divinity. His bronze eyes stare through you as the words leave your mouth. I swear loyalty to the emperor and the Roman army. I will obey without hesitation, and if ordered, I will die without question. In that moment, your name ceases to be your own. You are no longer a farmer, a shepherd, or a merchant's son. You are Miles Legiones, a soldier of Rome. And your body now belongs to something far older, far hungrier than any god you've prayed to. The doctor hands you a small pouch, the viaticum, your sign-on bones, silver coins, heavy and pure. They glint like freedom, but they are not gifts. They are chains. Rome gives with one hand and takes with both. That silver will soon return for armor, weapons, sandals, even the wooden spoon you'll eat with. Every coin will melt back into the empire's veins. Nothing in Rome is free, not even honor. Some men spend it all in a night. Wine, women, laughter loud enough to drown their doubt. Others save, believing they've beaten the trap. But Rome has already won, because every soldier marches in debt to the empire, and debt is a leash you can't see, but never escape. Then dawn comes. The illusion ends. You are no longer a recruit. You are property. A trumpet screams through the cold morning air. Orders bark in Latin. Ad sina. To the standards. 30 kilometers. Gravel, mud, and stone. A full pack on your back. 30 kilos of burden. Armor, shield, sword. 2 javelins, dry rations. Tools, stakes for the camp wall. The first march breaks many. Those who fall behind are whipped. Those who complain are silenced. The rest learn quickly. Pain is not the enemy. Weakness is. Your boots tear at your skin. Blisters swell, burst, harden. Your shoulders ache beneath the shield's weight. The air tastes of iron and dust. And when you think rest has come, the centurion points to a river. Cross it. You hesitate. The current is strong. He nods to your armor. With everything you carried, you wade in. Cold bites your bones. Water fills your ears. The shield drags you under. You thrash, gasp, kick, and the centurion's voice cuts through the roar of water. If you can't cross a river, you'll die before you see the enemy. You make it across, half drowned, shaking, but alive. And that's all Rome requires. Alive enough to obey. The first sword you touch is not steel. It's wood. Heavy. Awkward. Brutal. It doesn't shine. It doesn't cut. It teaches. You swing until your arms feel like they'll tear from your body. Horizontal cuts. Vertical strikes. Thrusts to the gut. Your sweat darkens the dirt beneath you. Your muscles scream for mercy. And when you drop the sword, punishment, pick it up again and again until pain becomes routine. Only then, says the instructor, will the real blade feel like air. The straw dummies stand before you, painted with crude red circles, throat, armpit, belly, not a dummy, the ground rouse. An enemy. Your strike must end him, and you do. Over and over, until your arms tremble, your mind empties, and your only thought is kill or die. Because in the Legion, mercy isn't a virtue, it's a defect. The days blur. March, drill, sweat, build, repeat. You dig latrines. You haul stones. You cut timber until your hands split open. At night, you sleep on the ground beside 7 men you barely know. Your contubernium, 8 men. 1 tent, 1 life shared. If one fails, all are punished. If one excels, all rise. You learn their smells, their fears, their silences. Who snores? Who prays? Who stares at the stars too long, thinking of home? You stop being strangers. You become a unit, a living wall. Rome's most dangerous weapon is not the gladius, it's trust. Trust that the man beside you will hold the line, even when his blood hits the dirt. This is how Rome makes its soldiers. Not in fire, but in exhaustion, in hunger, in pain repeated until it becomes faith. And when that faith is complete, you will no longer be a man. You will be legion. The day you leave camp, the world changes. Dust rises. The wind carries the scent of fear and iron, and the horizon is no longer a line. It is a wall of possibility and death. Your first campaign. Dayshed. Mountainous forests. Rivers swollen with spring melt. Tribes armed with curved swords and sharpened stakes. The emperor's orders are clear. Conquer. Take the riches. Break the resistance. And yet your mind knows a deeper truth. You are a cog. Without you, the machine stalls. Without the man beside you, your own life is forfeit. You move in formation. Shoulder to shoulder, shield to shield, a shout cracks the air. Form testudo. The soldiers obey, raising their shields into a near impenetrable shell. Arrows rain down, a storm of metal against wood and leather, bouncing harmlessly off the disciplined wall. The men on your left grunt under the weight. A comrade's elbow bites your side. You do not flinch. You do not hesitate, because hesitation is death. And then the enemy emerges. A sudden charge from the woods. A shriek. A flash of steel. The clash is immediate, brutal. Blood and dirt mingle. Your gladius pierces the first man before he can react. Another falls to your left. You feel the tremor of his body against yours. The shield rattles. The ground shakes under hundreds of boots. Your heart hammers. The smell of iron fills your nostrils. War is not cinematic. It is constant, unrelenting labor punctuated by sudden violence. And the lessons from the training ground echo: shield, 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 move as one, trust as one, kill as one. Orders barked in Latin cut through chaos. Centurions move among the men. Vine staff raised. Punishment or encouragement meted out instantly. A man falters. The centurion strikes with the vine. The line holds. Another breaks rank. Another falls to the ground. The wall does not. You hurl your pillow. Feel the iron shank punch through a shield. Bend as intended. Then draw your gladius and advance. Every move premeditated, instinctive, lethal. Hours stretch like days. The sun climbs, hides, returns. The fighting stops only when the enemy either flees or falls entirely. The cost becomes clear. Your contuberanium is fractured. A man missing. Another bleeding. You tend wounds with whatever you have. Bandages, splints, boiled water. Rome demands efficiency. But humanity persists in small acts. A shared water scale, whispered encouragement. You carry messages between cohorts. You help build bridges, fortify camps, clear forests for the legion's movement. The battlefield extends beyond combat. Survival is logistics. Without food, water, shelter, the line cannot hold. And you now know why Rome's legions win. Not because of bravery alone, but because of relentless preparation, labor, and cohesion. Some men are specialized. Libratius, the scribe recording every casualty and order. Actuarius, distributing rations and supplies. Deciding who lives another day through food alone. Optio, the centurion's shadow. Maintaining order amidst chaos. Each role, each action, each small decision, life or death. And you, once a boy from a distant village, now see the intricate cogs of war. How Rome wins not on courage alone, but by the sum of every disciplined, trained, connected man. The smoke rises. The groans of the wounded echo across the plains. You sit beside your contuberanium, sword resting on your lap, eyes fixed on the distant stars. The machine has won again. The cost is visible. Your own hands are red, but tomorrow you will rise, because Rome expects nothing less. The battlefield tests more than strength. It tests courage, loyalty, brotherhood. Every man beside you matters, because alone no one survives. This is duty. This is the heartbeat of the Empire, and you are its pulse. They do not call it training. They call it disciplina, a word that tastes like salt and iron. It is law and pedagogy, wrapped in bruises. Disciplina is a religion with no altar, only a drill ground, a pile of stones. and the centurion's unreadable face. You've learned the oath, you've crossed the river. Now begins the slow, brutal transfiguration. A man will be peeled down to bone in expectation, then rebuilt, stronger, sharper, less human. Morning comes before the sun. A trumpet slices the dark. You are up, clothe, lace, run, not for fitness's sake alone, but to knead you into rhythm, rhythm that becomes commandable. Every movement is timed to a cadence. March, rest, march. Drill, the machine learns to sing. The wooden gladius is heavier than steel. A deliberate cruelty. Wield it long enough and your shoulders forget softness. Your forearms become rope. You strike until the tendons howl, and the instructor's voice becomes a percussion again, until your arms fall and the world tilts, and you find your hands still moving, because that is how survival is taught. Muscle memory carved into bone. You learn the geometry of killing, not the poetry of a duel, but the calculus of efficiency. How the shield's rim blocks a throat, how the angle of a thrust avoids bone, how a wall of shields becomes a moving mountain. You drill the formation until your body learns it better than the song of your mother. The pylon is next. The javelin designed to ruin an enemy's defense. Heavy head, tapered shank, engineered to pierce, then bend, to ruin the shield it strikes. Hours become an obsession. Shoulder, aim, release, again, again, again. The slings sing stones that bite. The short thrust of the Pugio teaches close murder. Each weapon trains an instinct, distance, timing, brutality. And then they teach you to die 1,000 small deaths. The slow execution of endurance. Forced marches that strip skin from feet and self from pride. Cold immersion that makes lungs scream for mercy. Hunger that makes your body bargain with itself. A soldier cannot be sentimental. Sentiment is a luxury the line cannot afford. Formation becomes identity. The man without a shield is exposed. The man who breaks the line invites the centurion's lash. Shield, 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 they chant, as if invoking a god. You learn to trust the man to your left because his shield is the same as yours, oak and leather and iron rim. And because you have eaten from the same pot and bled in the same ditch, trust is drilled into you until it is reflex. When night falls, the forge breathes life into the camp. The blacksmith's hammer sings hope, new nails, a repaired rim, a sharpened blade. But the legionary learns to make his own fortune with rough hands. A broken strap is repaired. A splintered oar is lashed. The world of the legion is one of improvisation and making do. The soldier is half craftsman, half warrior. To fight, he must first be able to mend, fix, and adapt. Not all lessons are brutal. Rome understands paperwork as power. Some men, those who learned letters in a village school or a tutor's quiet hours, find a different forge, ink and scrolls. They read the maps, they copy the orders. They become the memory of the unit. While one man pounds iron, another pounds the ledger. Both are necessary. Iron and ink keep the machine turning. Punishment is as precise as reward. A misstep yields more than a bruise. Decimation. The name alone warps the soul. To kill 1 in 10 as remedy for cowardice. History whispers about it like a ghost story. But the threat is real. And the fear it breeds is a tool. Public floggings, extra guard duty, the stripping of rank. Each is a calculated instrument to keep discipline absolute. Leadership is a crucible. Some men bend under heat. others become steel. The optio, the centurion's second, learns the art of small command, to hold the line, to keep a camp, to enforce order without cruelty that breaks men altogether. Centurions are chosen for men who have not only survived the forging, but who learned compassion that does not weaken command. A good centurion knows the exact measure between fear and respect. He is first in, last out. He drinks with his men and eats the worst portion. He punishes, but he also shields. There are moments of strange tenderness, a bandage at midnight, a shared slice of bread, a whispered joke before dawn. Humanity persists like green shoots through a battlefield's ash. Those moments are thin, fragile, but they make soldiers more than automatons. They make them brothers. Every drill serves a purpose, to remove hesitation, to make action immediate. When the legion moves, it moves like a clockwork engine. Precise, inexorable, you have become part of that engine. Your heart keeps rhythm with the trumpet. Your breath matches the march. And then the final test, the mock battle. Smoke cords the air. Men clash with blunted steel. Some fight with reckless abandon, others with the dead calm of those who have done this until the body no longer questions the morality, only the technique. When the mock ends and the dust settles, the men who remain standing are not merely survivors. They are transformed into instruments of statecraft, keepers of roads, builders of bridges, carriers of imperial will. You look at your hands. Scarred, sure, they hold a sword as if born to it. You look into the eyes of the man at your side. No longer stranger, a reflection. The forging has done its work. You are honed, shaped, exact. They have taken a farmer and made him legion. They have taken a boy and braided him into formation. You are no longer singular. You are a unit, a bond, a living wall the Empire can order anywhere. War is measured in metal and blood, but life inside the Legion is measured in men, not by rank or victories, but by the bonds you forge in mud, sweat, and shared fear. You are no longer a single man. You are 8. Your contraburnum, a word that means nothing to outsiders, but everything to you. 8 souls, 8 fates intertwined. You share a tent, a ration, a single blanket that smells of everyone else. You learn who snores, who dreams aloud, who hides tears in the dark. Every heartbeat beside you matters. Every cough, every whispered prayer. When one falls ill, the others carry him. When one excels, the praise is shared. Life inside the tent is brutal, intimate, necessary. Trust is currency. Betrayal, unthinkable. The man beside you is your shield in battle, and your lifeline in every small moment of survival. And yet, the heart knows fear. Death waits in every corner. The enemy's sword, a collapsed trench, a sudden arrow. You watch friends die, some screaming, some silent. Each loss carves a scar into your memory, deeper than any wound. You laugh. You joke. You sing, not out of joy, but defiance. Because to admit despair is to weaken the wall that keeps you alive. Letters arrive for some men. News from home. A mother, a wife, a sister. You read silently, the ink smudged with tears and dust. You realize how far you are from the world you knew, and how far you've come. The army has taken everything. Your freedom, your comfort, your certainty. But in return, it has given something you did not expect. Belonging. The centurion is more than a leader. He is a father, a judge, a taskmaster, a mirror of the soldier you are becoming. You see courage in his eyes. You see discipline. You see the harsh justice that preserves the line. And slowly, under his gaze, you begin to understand this is not tyranny. This is survival, codified, taught, and forced. Brotherhood is tested in every detail. A shared ration in the cold, carrying a pack for the weak, covering a comrade's back in the mud-soaked forest. Every act small, but essential. Every failure punished, every success noted. Sometimes, amidst the exhaustion, you see moments that defy the machine. A man singing softly to another too wounded to move. A hand gripping another to calm terror in the night. A shared joke, absurd, whispered against the roar of war. These moments are fragile, ephemeral, sacred. Rome teaches obedience, discipline, death, but it cannot teach loyalty. That comes from blood, dust, and nights spent huddled with strangers who become brothers. Yet you remember the lessons, the bonds, the moments of mercy, defiance, and courage. They exist now only in memory. You feel both pride and grief, for you were a part of something immense, and it is gone. The Legion's legacy is not in monuments or poems. It is in the bones of ordinary men, in the quiet acts of courage no poet ever sang.